All right, let's talk about taming a beast that every IT pro knows way too well, the modern enterprise network, right? It's just sprawling, it's getting more complex by the day, and it's always demanding more. So today, we're going to break down Cisco's answer to this whole challenge, Catalyst Center. And I want to start with a question that probably hits pretty close to home for a lot of you. Just be honest, is your network's complexity actively slowing you down? I mean, slowing down your team and maybe even your entire business? If you're kind of nodding your head right now, you are definitely not alone. We're talking about those long hours of manual configurations. And you know the drill with troubleshooting, right? That reactive, hop by hop, logging into one switch, then another, then a router, just to chase down one little problem. Plus, you've got the constant worry about security holes, the absolute crawl of provisioning new devices, and that massive headache of trying to keep policies consistent everywhere. It feels like a constant battle, doesn't it?
So what's the fix? Well, this is the idea right here. Cisco Catalyst Center. The concept is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Imagine being able to design, provision, automate your policies, and ensure your services, all from one single place.
So what is it exactly? Well, the official definition calls it a powerful network controller and management dashboard. But the phrase you really want to lock onto is single pane of glass. It's about giving you one unified command center for all those essential tasks, all designed to just simplify how you run your entire network.
You know, maybe the best way to think about it is with an analogy. Picture Catalyst Center as the air traffic control tower for your network. Instead of trying to manage every single plane, one by one, you have a central tower that sees everything, directs everything, and makes sure it all just works together seamlessly. And this diagram here, it illustrates that idea perfectly. You can see Catalyst Center sitting right at the heart of the whole operation. It integrates all those different pieces, your routers, your switches, your wireless, and it even pulls in security policies from other tools. It brings the whole shebang under one unified command.
Okay, so now let's get into the really cool stuff, its core capabilities, and I like to call them its superpowers, automation and AI-powered assurance. This is where the magic really happens.
First up, automation. And look, this is way more than just scripting. This is about fundamentally changing how you deploy and manage your network. It's about taking all those repetitive, error-prone tasks right off your plate so your team can actually focus on innovation instead of just putting out fires.
A perfect example of this is zero-touch provisioning. Just think about this. You unbox a new switch, you plug it in, and it automatically finds the controller, downloads its config, and comes online. We're talking minutes, not the hours of manual work it used to take. That's the goal here.
And then there's Software Image Management, or SWIM. This lets you manage and deploy all your software images from one central spot. And the benefit here is huge. You can make sure every single device is running the right, compliant, and secure software version. No more inconsistencies, no more vulnerabilities from outdated code.
Okay, on to superpower number 2, AI-powered assurance. This is all about shifting from that old reactive break-fix model to a proactive one, where the network actually tells you about problems before your users even notice. Now, the heart of this whole thing is the Machine Reasoning Engine, or MRE. Seriously, think of it as an AI-powered senior engineer in a box. It automatically goes through all the complex logical steps that a real expert would take to diagnose and solve those really tricky network-wide problems. And it doesn't stop there. The platform's AI also gives you personalized baselining. What that means is it actually learns what's normal for your specific network. And once it knows what's normal, it can spot anomalies and even help you fix things way faster. It's all about using data to get smarter and quicker.
So that's the what and the why. Now let's get practical. How do you actually deploy this thing? Let's walk through the blueprint for getting Catalyst Center up and running.
Catalyst Center runs on a dedicated hardware appliance, and you've got 3 main models to choose from. As you can see, they scale up pretty significantly to fit all kinds of different needs. Let's put some context around what these numbers actually mean. So, the standard appliance starts out by supporting up to 5,000 network devices. I mean, to put that in perspective, that is more than enough to run a pretty large corporate campus or even hundreds of retail stores.
Then you can step up to the large model. This gives you capacity for 8,000 devices. Now you're talking about being built for bigger enterprises, companies with multiple data centers and just a rapidly growing network.
And at the very top end, you've got the XL, which is a true beast. It can manage 18,000 devices. This is for the most complex global environments out there. Think massive universities, huge hospital networks, or those big multinational corporations.
Now, you might think ordering something this powerful has got to be complicated, right? But Cisco has actually made it a pretty simple 4-step process. First, you just select your appliance model, that's the SKU. Then you pick your software version, add the network transceivers you need, and grab your power cables. It's designed to be really straightforward.
Okay, so let's pull all this together. What is the big takeaway here? What does all this mean? Well, this is really about the future of network operations.
I think this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. With this platform, IT can respond to changes and challenges faster and more intelligently. That's the whole point, right? Making IT a more agile, a more strategic part of the business.
And that really leaves us with one final, big question to think about for your own situation. Right now, is your network a roadblock that's slowing down innovation? Or is it a bridge that connects your organization to what's possible?
Because ultimately, that's the whole promise here. It's about transforming the network from this complex burden into a real strategic asset, a true bridge to the possible. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.